say Virginia is for lovers. Well, guess what? Virginia is also for golfers. And you're going to see that on this latest episode of The Traveling Golfer as we take you to 3 great golf locations: Viniterra, Royal New Kent, and Williamsburg National, plus all of the other attractions in the greater Williamsburg area. Stick with us on this episode of The Traveling Golfer.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf smart.
The countryside of Virginia, what the early settlers to America first found, and maybe they thought they were back on the other side of the pond, Ireland. It certainly looks like it, and it looked like it to Mike Strantz, the architect at Royal New Kent, when he built this golf course and patterned it after famous Royal County Down in Ireland. You get the feeling immediately, and it carries through the course at Royal New Kent.
Mike Strantz unfortunately succumbed to cancer at the early age of 50. He was brought up here to build this course, and that kind of got him started with his own designs.
Willie Downs, partner at Royal New Kent Golf Club. The spectacular view behind us, of course, open to national acclaim for its design and beauty. Late 90s had a period of success, and then of course the economic downturn hit so many of the courses, actually closed for a while. Luckily, the new ownership came in with a transfusion of energy, passion, and of course money. It doesn't work without that. What was done to reopen the course, and what we're seeing out here as some of the changes?
We actually had back 2 of Mike Strantz's original work team that built the course in '97, and it was very cool for them to come back, and it was cool for us to have them here. So they were very familiar with the course, and we wanted to put it back to the way Strantz designed it originally. Some of his original drawings, which we display in the clubhouse. So we're playing up his name, and Wingfield managed the renovation. They're also managing the running of the course now that it's open. And the horses are representative of Ken England and Battle Cry Invicta on the logo, which means unconquerable. And he built the clubhouse, fashioned it after the Royal County Down clubhouse. So the more you look into it, the more features he picked up from Ireland and brought them here.
What a great spot. In the fall and winter, we'll be lighting the fireplace up and overlooking 18 Green. It's one of the prettiest views around this state.
Chip Sullivan, PGA General Manager, Director of Golf at Royal New Kent, some years on the PGA Tour, 2007 National Club Pro Champ. Now, coming from your background, college golf, University of Mississippi, PGA Tour, you get to play a lot of golf courses. But I'm going to guess when you walked onto this property the first time, having never played a Strantz course before, maybe your eyes popped a little bit, maybe
a little bit.
Your head.
Yeah. I had not heard of Mike Strantz, and I was out here right after I got off tour when it first opened. It was a wow factor for sure. Totally different than anything I've ever seen. And so that's what I think they brought me in to try to explain to the golfers, hey, let's get on the right set of tees so you enjoy the experience, hit some fantastic shots, because if you can pull it off, hey, you might be telling something to your grandchildren about the shot you hit at Royal New Kent.
Number 4 is a perfect example of Strantz's visual intimidation. You come to this gold tee. These tees have a slope of 153, and there's another tee farther back. Those who play here see a thin sliver of fairway, but actually their line is over that huge hill, and there's plenty of room for those who want to take the challenge of the gold tees. From the white tees where us mortals play, you notice that you all of a sudden have all of the room in the world to hit a shot. Once again, Strantz's visual intimidation. Plenty of room to let one loose here. 75 yards wide of fairway.
You know, that's Mike Strantz's masterpiece, is trying to visually intimidate the golfer, but you see how much room. I mean, there's 50 acres of fairway out there. There's big areas to hit the drive, and then the fun begins going into the greens and making sure you're on the right tier and having a good putt at it. I think it was a smart idea. We switched over from bent to Bermuda, Champions Bermuda, when the new owners purchased the property. That Bermuda thrives. The heat of the season, we have fast, firm, true greens, and they're not soft and making big ball marks like bent grass would do when the temperatures get in the 90s.
Tell me some of the holes out here that you think are so much more unique than anything else you'll find anywhere else.
Well, I look at, say, hole number 14. It's our shortest par 4, but it requires a very precise tee shot with an iron to get it in play to see the green in the pin. If you don't hit it straight down the middle, then you're going to have a blind shot. Then there's also hole number 2, where it's a par 5, and if you hit it in the perfect spot off the tee, you can go for the green, but by gosh, if you don't hit it perfect, you're going to suffer the consequences. Or you can lay up and go in with a 3-shot hole. Number 7 sticks out in my mind the most. I mean, it's got everything around that green. It's got a creek, it's got bunkers, there's just no bailout. Plus you got a 3-tier green. So there's a lot of decision making out there, a lot of different ways you can look at it, and I think that's what makes our course so unique and not the normal course that you see every day.
There's also a number of risk-reward holes.
Yeah, you know, the golfers like to take those risks every now and then, because if you can pull it off, hey, you might be telling something to your grandchildren about the shot you hit at Royal New Kent. So you have a couple different options. You can play it safe, or you can every now and then try to see what you're worth and what you can do.
I'm going to guess that the ultra-competitive golfers are so much into their game and their score on that scorecard that the artistry is lost on them a little bit, and Strantz was an artist. Does it get through to some of them, or they play the whole thing and they say, I just block all that out?
We uncovered the thick hay and grass lines, and it showed all his lines of how he designed these ridges, and it had to have been from an artist. And each time you play it, you have so many different looks. It's just not a normal everyday golf course, and if you haven't played it, wow, you're in for a treat.
Hi, Duffy Waldorf here. Talking to you about my exotics equipment. This is my exotics hybrid. It's a 17 degree. I didn't know there was more to it than degrees. This club has really helped me take care of the hybrid situation in my bag. I really thought there wasn't any more I could do. This club gives me a great launch angle, gives me less spin, and it gives me more things than I thought I could get in a hybrid. I thought a hybrid was just, hit it high and it drops down. I can shape this ball left to right, I can hit it high, I can hit it low. Just the way the design is, the way they've moved the weights around, it's really a fantastic club. It turns out they make more equipment. I didn't know that. I tried this 3-wood and I was like, that's better than the 3-wood I have in my bag. In fact, it was better than the driver in my bag. So now I'm trying the driver. The driver will be in my bag probably this week. I hope it's in your bag soon too, because you can't beat them.
Jeff Moy, PGA General Manager at the club at Viniterra, a Reese Jones design, opened in 2009, gets better every year. Tell us a little bit about the philosophy behind the club at Viniterra and the management by Wingfield, which has about 10 courses throughout the South.
Basically, our philosophy is, we're a semi-private facility, so we do a lot of the public to play here. We have some memberships as well, but we just want it to be a nice product, well-conditioned course, want to offer top-notch service. 2019, we moved into this clubhouse. We want everybody to have a good time.
Viniterra is not one of those courses where first time out you need a guide dog, but there are a lot of subtleties and a lot of different elevation changes that come into play, so knowing more about the holes will help.
Absolutely. The more you play this course, the easier it does get. There are little tricks and nuances.
Thrills, chills, and hills here at Viniterra. You better find the flat spots or else you can see some pretty difficult shots.
There are hidden ravines. Par 5 fourth is another prime example. If you don't know that creek's out there, a lot of people will hit it in there, but the more you play it, the easier it gets.
People hear about elevation change at Viniterra. However, it is definitely not a mountain goat course. Much more rolling hills, just enough to give you a little bit of a challenge with downhill, side hill lies.
Absolutely. Every hole, I believe, you're having a side hill, downhill, uphill lie, so that adds to the difficulty of the course and just knowing how to play those shots.
I did notice that Reese Jones did a good job on a lot of the holes of ribboning the fairway through there. Even though the entire hole may be a big side hill slope, the fairway portion of itself goes through a more flat pace, and that helps.
His mindset behind that was he wanted everyday golfers to come out and play it and not be too difficult, but yet challenge the more experienced golfers.
And that will happen because slope from the back tees is a nice 151. The rest of the hole goes this way, but back here are the many tees of number 15, par 5, 612 yards from the tips. You better be on your game for this one. Reese Jones doesn't design golf courses for the weak of heart. However, you have one specific characteristic here that helps a little bit. 7 sets of tees, pick your poison.
That is correct. We do have 7 sets of tees. All our holes have very generous fairways. It's where a lot of your bunkering takes place. Fairway's not a problem. It's all in the second shot here.
I noticed on one of the holes, particular par 3, 7 sets of tees stretch from 233 yards to 114. I mean, that's a football field in between the tees.
You wanted to make sure that the playability was there for everybody, for all skill levels of golfers.
Greens are very large. They putt very well. I'm going to guess it's a bent grass.
You are correct. They are bent, and yes, the greens are very large with several quadrants. You got to hit it to the right quadrant of each green, or else you will have a very tricky putt on some of these.
And now it's time for the Strack-A-Line putt of the day. All these hills, we need all the help we can get. When you're confident about the line, you hit a confident putt. And the 3 putts. I know you're going to say you love them all, but give me a couple of your favorites and then the one that if it was your last hole, you're going to go and say, I'm going to play this one again.
I love our par 5 first hole. It's a beautiful first hole, very generous drive off the fairway, very reachable if you hit a good drive. It's a great way to start the round off. My truly favorite hole out here would have to be 16, just the elevation change from tee to green. It makes the guesswork a little bit harder to hit the right club because it's such a narrow green. If you air long, it's almost guaranteed penalty shot.
Viniterra planned as a residential community, beautiful estate homes, but you don't see many when you're out there at all.
No, all our holes are very secluded with the exception of maybe 2 to 3 holes. But other than that, you feel like you're in your own little world out here and traverse from hole to hole and just nestled in the woods and elevation changes. You don't expect to see that as you drive it.
Virginia has become a hotbed for wineries. New Kent Winery, one of them, right next to the entrance to Viniterra. What a wonderful stop after a round of golf. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to try some. How can I do what you want me to do? How can I feel like I'm running home to you? Go with the song, but so deceptive. Delicious, fresh, beautiful. When you come to Virginia for golf, Chris Hardig is the man. Wears 2 hats. Is involved in the management at Williamsburg National, 2 courses, and also is the guy who puts together a great golf trip.
We'll put your golf trips together through Virginia Golf Vacations to Williamsburg. We work with all the area golf courses as well as all the area's best accommodations.
There's a lot to cover when you're here in the area. And I guess you get people from both ends who want to come just for a golf vacation, who are here for a golf and family vacation.
Everyone knows about Colonial Williamsburg and Busch Gardens are the big family attractions. With where we sit within 20-minute drive, there's 14 great championship golf courses. Good challenge for the really good low handicappers, but also very playable for the high handicappers and beginning golfers.
Well, let's start with Williamsburg National because, number one, we're sitting here on a very active day.
Yes, sir.
But two very different golf courses.
Williamsburg National started in 1995, the Jamestown course, which is a Nicholas design. It's cut from the tall Virginia pines. It's just got a very classic feel, subtle elevation changes, and it just kind of winds around the property. It's very challenging when you get further back, but very playable from forward tees. Not a lot of bunkers. And we've also resurfaced the greens with Champion Bermuda grass, which is a very smooth and fantastic playing surface.
Pretty much follows the land as it was there. He didn't do a lot of earth moving.
No, just follow the natural topography of Williamsburg. You get a little bit of rolling. It's probably an architect's dream to lay out a golf course in this topography.
Maybe on a trip here, that might be the first course you play to get warmed up a little bit from the kinder, gentler architectural period of Jack Nicklaus, because he could put some tough ones out there. We know that too. Now, Yorktown, designed by Tom Clark, and I know Tom from the architectural firm of Alt and Clark, a Penn State grad, someone who's done some nice work, especially in the Mid-Atlantic region.
It's a fantastic layout, a little more challenging off the tee, so you got to pay attention off the tee. About twice as many bunkers on the Yorktown course, surface with bent grass greens. One of the neat things about the Yorktown, even though the yardage is pretty much traditional yardage for full championship course, the holes is a nice mix of short par fours with long par fours, so you're not just banging driver all day long. One hole you might hit a driver, the next hole you got to back off to a hybrid, and it really makes you think off of the tee.
It has a wonderful parkland feel through the trees.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you come to a complex around a small lake that he did a phenomenal job of using it. Tell us about them. Start with 13.
It's really one of the best spots in Williamsburg. Start with the par 3 there, which has got a kind of a multi-tiered green, but you can see across the water what's ahead at 17 or 16. You turn 15 into this pretty tough par 4, but then you turn back around 16 playing towards the water. You've got this beautiful green with the water behind it, and you can pick up 17 green in the distance. 17 is a pretty tough par 3 to finish around that pond, so it's a wonderful setting.
It was something that really caught my eye. We talked about Williamsburg National, but there's an amazing assortment of other golf courses in the area that you handle.
It starts really with the two big resorts in the area. Kings Mill Resort, featuring the River Course by Pete Dye, hosts decades of PGA Tour and now currently an LPGA Tour event, and they also have the Plantation and Woods course there. Then there's the Golden Horseshoe with their featured courses, the Gold Course, the Robert Trent Jones design that he called his best design, and then Sister Green course designed by Reese Jones. But then there's also a total of 14 championship golf courses in this area that include Ford's Colony.
3 courses at Ford's Colony.
3 courses at Ford's Colony, and then there's Colonial Heritage, just another 5 minutes up the road, an Arthur Hills design. Kiskiat, which is a lot of fun, a Tom LaFoy layout. And then as you work further out of town, you head towards where Viniterra and the reemergence of Royal New Kent, Mike Strand's design, which has also raised a lot of interest back into the area. Those are great courses to play on your way in or way out of town.
Aside from the assortment of courses, there's great places to stay right in the middle of all the action.
Yes, there's a wide variety of accommodations in Williamsburg. We have all the popular hotel chains, but also unique to Williamsburg is we have a lot of resort condo properties. You can stay right here adjacent to Williamsburg National. There's Green Springs Vacation Resort.
Condos have become more and more popular, whether it's a group of guys who want to all get together at night and exchange lies and
Exactly.
settle their bets, or families.
Yes.
So it's a great way to handle that. And again, you said it's close to all the attractions, and there are plenty in Williamsburg.
Busch Gardens, Colonial Williamsburg, a lot of great dining. The Newtown area with Opus 9 Steakhouse is probably the one that draws the most attention from our golfers. It's a fantastic, locally owned, high-end steakhouse. And then if you head towards Merchant Square, particularly if you're staying in Colonial Williamsburg, you can walk down into Merchant Square, and there's some really nice 4-star restaurants there, the Fat Canary, Barrett Seafood, Blue Talon, and then some casual pubs too as well. I could go on for a long time about all the great dining here in Williamsburg.
I always hear people walk away and they say, I really never knew all of that. It was interesting to find out these facts about the American history here.
Yes, and then close by you also have Jamestown, Yorktown, where we won our independence. Jamestown is where the first landing was here in Virginia.
And golfers like to take a gamble every once in a while on the golf course, maybe off the golf course too, a location right close by.
Yes, just outside of town is Rosie's, where you can get some gambling in.
Slots Casino.
Slots Casino, yes.
Yeah.
And they also have a great bar and restaurant there.
And adjacent to Rosie's, another little gamble that I like.
Colonial Downs horse racing resuming in 2019.
Sounds like somebody who knows how to put a golf package together. Again, Virginia Golf Vacations.
VirginiaGolfVacations.com.
Well, now you know, Virginia is for golfers also. We've seen the great golf courses at Viniterra, Royal New Kent, and Williamsburg National, plus all of the attractions in the greater Williamsburg area. We hope you enjoyed this latest episode of The Traveling Golfer. We'll see you somewhere else down the golf road. And remember, in Virginia, when you walk off the golf course, you walk into history.
Tony Leodora's golf wardrobe, courtesy of Antigua, the leader in modern golf apparel.
Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of The Traveling Golfer.